We're looking at area of rectangles today. So I thought we'd go through together and see what some of the most important parts of area of rectangles is. So the first thing I want to look at is the difference between area and perimeter. Now perimeter measures the outside of the shape, so it is found by finding all of these edges all along here. Area, on the other hand, measures the inside of the shape. So if I'm trying to find the inside of the shape, I'm finding all of this part in here. Now I thought we'd look at an example where we're trying to find the area of this shape. I have already made blocks out of this shape, but this shape is a 3 by 3 square, 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And I've just divided that 3 centimeters up into 1 centimeters each. So each one of these squares is 1 centimeter this way and 1 centimeter this way, and the area of the square is 1 centimeter squared. That's the inside of it here. Now, if I was to find the area of this shape, I can add together all of these areas. So I have 1 centimeter squared plus 1 centimeter squared plus 1 centimeter squared. If I add all these up, I can tell that I get 9 centimeters squared. And this is exactly the same as if I was to multiply this side by this side here. So the area of a rectangle is the same as the height multiplied by the base. So the height is the length going along here, and the base is the length going along here. Obviously, these are going to be the same length. So I want to look at an example now of how we would use this. I have a rectangle here. It is 4 centimeters, and that should be 2 centimeters here. So if I'm going to use my formula of height times base, I'm going to multiply my height of 2 centimeters by my base length of 4 centimeters. So 2 multiplied by 4 is the same as 8. And the most important part that we shouldn't forget is the units. So because this is in centimeters, I'm still going to have my answer in centimeters. But because it's an area, I've multiplied 2 centimeters together. So it's going to be centimeters squared because I've got centimeters times by centimeters. So whenever I have an area, it's always going to be something squared. Now my next example is a little bit trickier because it's got more than one rectangle. This is what's called a compound shape, which means we can be made up of more than one rectangle. So with these kind of shapes, we can't just find the height times the base because there's too many things going on. So to make it easier, what we do is we split the shape up into rectangles. Now you can split it up into any way you want. You could go down here or you could go along here. I'm going to go along this way and split it up into this shape here and this shape here. Now what I have to do with this is to find any missing lengths. So the first shape I'm going to tackle is this one here. Now I can still use height times base. I know that the height of this shape is 7 meters and the base of this shape is 6 meters. So this shape here is going to be 7 multiplied by 6, which is 42. And remember my units are meters squared because I've got meters multiplied by meters. The bottom part here is a little bit trickier because I don't know my height in this case. I do know the base, so it's going to be something multiplied by 8. But I don't know what this is here. Now I can find out what this length here is because I know that this whole length here is 10 meters and this length here is 7 meters. Which means if I was to add this length onto this one, it's going to equal 10 meters. So this length has to be 3 meters in order for them both to add together to make this 10 meters here. So it's going to be 3 multiplied by 8 because I found my missing height. 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. And you guessed it, we have to put the units in of meters squared. Now my total area, I have to add together my two areas. So I have 42 meters squared plus 24 meters squared. So my total area is going to be 66 and the units are meters squared. Make sure whenever you're working with a compound shape, you split it up into rectangles. It's a lot easier to find.